the neat things about living in Spur is it's beautiful, it's quiet. You can sit out on the front porch and hear the coyotes at night, or you can hear the church bells.
They say news travels fast in a small town. Well, for the past several years at least, we know there is only one place in Spur, Texas, where two people always have their fingers on the pulse of anything newsworthy.
I'm Kay Ellington.
Okay, Kelly Phillips.
Good nice to meet you. Nice to meet you.
Hey, how are you?
Nice to meet you.
The lead story in all the papers this week is basketball.
Welcome, Kelly.
Hey, how are
and Bob,
you?
so good to see
Good
you.
to see you.
It's boys' state basketball tournament coming up this weekend.
I'm a little bit upset with you because this week's edition of the Texas Spur never came.
Oh my gosh, but I thought you'd been subscribing since 1909.
Yeah.
1909.
Yes.
But did you get your Caprock Courier? And
yeah.
what about the Hesperian?
Yeah.
After all, we only do 5 papers here.
The Texas Spur, Caprock Courier, Floyd County Hesperian Beacon, Post-Dispatch, and the Knox County News Courier. 5 newspapers covering a huge area of the Texas South Plains, and it's all done right here in downtown Spur, every week without fail, by editors Barbara Brannon and Kay Ellington. Oh, and Lois and Governor round out the staff here.
Some of our columnists have been with us for years. Like Joyce Dodgel writes a column about quilting. We have a columnist, Motley County.
Her name is Earlene Jameson. She's in her 90s. She types her column, and her nursing home people email it to us, and then we retype it so that we can run it in the paper.
That's great.
You know, in the midst of reading about the Quilters group, you learn all of the gossip that they have shared as well.
It's kind of like going to the salon.
That's right.
much
That's
so.
right. Our wonderful photographer, Fred Cervantes, writing his story on the whirlwind season, and Hannibal Welch used to write for the Times Record News.
Without all of these people, is there any way that you two could cover everything for these 3 newspapers you publish?
No way.
Oh my goodness, we hardly managed to keep the floor swept and the bills sent out. We could not manage to cover the wide breadth of news in all these counties, without such a network.
So this really is a community effort.
It's a community effort for all 5 newspapers.
This afternoon, between 3 and 5 o'clock, the newspapers were delivered digitally to the press in Lubbock, and we've got about 30 more minutes or so before the truck arrives with the printed papers to unload. I see some headlights, and it's going to be Jesse driving tonight. It's like ants coming out of the anthill, and everyone has to run out and cut the pallet open and keep the papers sorted so that they don't get mixed up. Crystal, can you give me a hand here? It's quite exciting around here on a Tuesday night, and the first thing I'm doing is going, what does the printing look like this week? And if there's an error, I don't want to see it. These are Spurs, and there are whole generations of Spur high school students and graduates and retired people who have come and done this process. Some nights we really are just going, oh my gosh, are we going to be able to get a newspaper out of here?
Pull my truck up and go ahead and load those.
We have to make sure that the Hesperian doesn't end up down in Kent County, that the Caprock paper doesn't go to Lockney, or that the Texas Spur doesn't end up in Kittiquay.
We like to say we cover 10 counties and 15 school districts, and in fact, that's about 9,000 square miles of West Texas.
Well, goodness. Okay.
It's nothing more than small collateral damage in the fast-paced world of news coverage. Right now, a thunderstorm is on its way as Kay and Barbara are busy separating 5 different publications to make sure they go to the right towns.
So that has to happen every Tuesday night, rain or shine. It's got to get done.
Rain or shine, ice or snow, it has to happen.
All year
It's
long.
happened all year long.
All year long.
Yeah.
I always tell people it's like a combination of Mayberry and Northern exposure. I mean, you walk into the grocery store and people are putting the newspaper in their grocery basket. You know, you drive to the post office and you'll see somebody sitting on the front porch reading our paper. And you see people taking that paper out of their post office.
You go to the hardware store and there's a rack right there in the hardware store.
How does that feel in this day and age to see that still going on?
I mean, there is nothing more gratifying than to see somebody reading your newspaper on their front porch. Nothing more gratifying.
Kay Ellington and Barbara Brannon don't talk too much about the accolades and statewide awards they have won in this unheard of effort to get news to such a widespread area of remote West Texas. However, they have written a book titled The Paragraph Ranch, a clever reference to remarkable accomplishments in a world that seems to be turning its back on the printed word.
I would like for people to think that this is the scrapbook of these communities. And every week, it's like a new page to the scrapbook.
This is telling the stories of all the people in these communities.
And as long as we're here, that's never going to stop.